The art of distraction. It's for a smart mind not to pay attention, to second guess himself, to think that he's not reliable, to have a debate, a battle, or even a choice to make on his own. Manipulation, obedience to the executives, it's what really matters to the billionaire that you can't see, to the demon that you can't analyze, to the demon that is far from the spark and far away from you, where you can never attach to him or blame him for the things that he's distracting you and the world for. Tupac said it, when it rains it pours. Nipsey Hussle said it, when somebody is stepping up and reaching to their higher goals, they want you and they mop you on the floor. Of course, they want you to hate and not adore. What is distraction? Distraction is to confuse you, play games with you, play with your mind, play with your intelligence, play with your high IQ or critical thinking, of asking questions, of not caring, to feel dumb, to feel that you're not important. They do it through sports. They do it through movies. They do it through Oscars. They do it through anything that they can make a dollar in, just to make your head spin, just like you letting a DJ scratching that beat so he can get a record in. What is the adjustment? Not having no one that you can trust, but the white man that's the government official is asking you to believe in him like you will believe in your best friend. What is accordingly to now and then? Distraction, executive orders, yes, mass weapons of mass destruction to the gravitation of being distracted. Don't worry, we got you. We the snakes that perpetrate another way to illuminate and evaporate those that are smart enough to understand what we're trying to do. We exclude them, we bury them, we put them on the other scene where nobody will forever recognize who they were. Yes, a blur. I can't believe it. It's becoming to the extortion where they now are blaming you and her. No one can stand up for the rights, but there are no rights. Some have different stipulations. Some have 10, some have 25, some have none. I'm telling you, are we the recognitions of God's son? Was that planted in your head for you to believe, to conceive, to bleed, and not to analyze, but also to make you weak in the mind? I ask myself that question a lot of times, but I'm telling you, the importance of finding out the truth is what really makes it hard to find. Distraction. Oh yeah, let's make this brother fight this brother. Let's make this happen. So while they're being entertained with the frame of a television, programming your brain, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotion, your expressions. The depression of second guessing and not analyzing is what got you on a whole, like you were overwhelmed and overheld and not be able to understand where they coming from. Well, they come from hell. As I spark this, I say to myself, are they really here to protect us? Man, let's dismiss that, because they're really here to take us out. They're really here to wipe out the civilization of our own nation, our culture, brothers and sisters who know better. They want you to know worse. They want you on the curse. And in reality, does Catholic people really believe that there's a greater authority for another man to come and just command and being thought out? Not to being billionaires and care about people when they really aspect the grindness of a church? Think about that. They want your mind to explode. They want your mind to evocate like a volcano. They want to fill your mind up with lava. They want to destroy your capacity, your smartness, the way you think. They don't want you to express yourself, to fight and to battle and to conquest, to be not the best, but just try not to stress, but also want to put you to rest. What a way to see it. Can you believe it? George Carlin said it. They call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. Now, extortion, abortion, wars, economic. Tell me, what can you do to stop it? Nothing. It's like a machine that runs through you and wants to put a chip on you so you can examine to be a robot, a cop-out, someone that will sell out, someone that will contract their negotiations with the devil and forget about their families, forget about the better distraction, which will make you smarter, which will educate you, which will put you in a better pedestal. They don't want you to know the real truth about the schools, about the teachers, but you see, judges and others get paid more for not the educated, but the uneducated. It means to be separated from the reality. The truth hurts, yeah, but it hurts more when you don't know right from wrong. They say to stay strong, and the civilization of our own humans, how long? There's a dead end. Distraction shouldn't be your best friend. It shouldn't be intended. It shouldn't be played or pretended. But it also works in a mind frame where you will be under the lost child. Man, I'm telling you, this game is rigged, man. It's really wild. Look at your brain. Everything that you know doesn't come from your ancestors. Most of them are gone, dead, deceased. They're flying in the air. So they put this TV on your mind where you're trapped and you can't go nowhere. But they tell you, don't beware. It's only right for you to learn this and anticipate what's coming up. Man, does it really exist? The government doesn't care about you. The government doesn't care if you cry, if you shed tears. The government doesn't care if you feel pain, if you're stuck under the rain, and if you're trying to gain more motivation and more participation for you to be a better person. The government doesn't intrigue into you being smart. They want you to be dumb. They want you to misspell and miscalculate everything that they're doing. Do you know what distraction is? Do you see it as a bliss? A lot of people are biased and they believe what the government are telling them. But I got something to tell you. Do you believe when they look at you and they send your son and your daughter to war and they look at each other and say, God bless them? What God are they worshiping? Their own God, their own devils, their own demons, their own skeletons, which comes out of the closet. Like Eminem said, I'm sorry, mama, but the government is there and they meant to hurt you. They meant to critical, stabilize, and put you in critical condition. What a mission. Everything is competition. Everything is a drama. Everything is war. What is it for? For torture? It's for obedience. For you to obey. If you're not in the club, in the 1% elite, then you don't belong in the ball game. You'll be out before you get to first base. When you're trying to get home, forget it. Your identity and your life will have no more trace. They won't be able to trace you by your fingerprint. They won't be able to analyze you by your brain, your thoughts, and by the way you think. They only want you there to despair, to scare, and to tell you that about you, nobody cares. But we the government, we love you. We are the spontaneous elevation of the new criteria of come to us and we will give you life. We will give you breath. We will give you a spirit. We will make you brand new. Was that something that was taught in the old school? No, because my black ancestors and my Indian ancestors and my Mexican ancestors, they fought and most of them died. Not for pride, but because they wanted to exploit the truth. They wanted to let everybody know that the white government, the system that's propaganda was so loose. I'm telling you, just like a goose running around with nothing to hold on to. Just the government that is there to see you wore down. Fatigue yourself. Not explain yourself. Self-explanatory. Hypothetically speaking, your heart and your soul, they won't weaken. It's just like you going out getting drunk and not showing up home, but on the weekend, think about it. Everybody that's programmed by watching the chains, just like shackles, when they compress them together, they want you to say, oh, forget the world. I want to buy me some brand new shoes, whatever. And when you're stuck on this storm, they want you to unbreathe and die in the stormy weather. What is distraction? What do you make of it? What do you suggest? What do you feel? What is your opinion, your choice? There's consequences. There's repercussions. You better know better. All you want is just still believe the same story that the government tells you. Yeah, believe our God's letter, not the real God, the Jesus, the one that exposes for most for what they are. Hey, don't trust no human. But I tell you what, I got the devil's Cupid. I'm going to shoot you the arrow and you're going to turn into a machine. You're going to turn into one of my okie dokie boy, my slave. You're going to become my territory. I own you. I own your mother. I own your sister. I own your brother. I own everything you touch. My pinky toe and my pinky ring costs more than your own soul. That's cold. Manipulation. Times what they do on their spare time, regulation, separation, momentation, favoritism plays a very big part. The government doesn't want you to know this, but they don't want you in the light knowing the truth. They want you stuck in the dark. You see, Tina Turner said, we need another hero. But the heroes that are in America that love war about you and your feelings, take care, they feel nothing like Sub-Zero. Distraction, 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 distraction. Like a fraction, like a minus symbol with no question mark, just left blank, just to make you feel like you less of somebody and not smart. What is distraction to brothers and sisters nowadays, where they ricocheted, where they have to work 12 hours hard as hell not to see a good pay, where you have bosses making millions, hundreds of millions and billions, killing our children, building new buildings, new lands, new stands. But your heart and what you going through and what you want to tell them of your expression, they don't care to understand. DMX said it. You talking to them, but they fall on deaf ears. This happens not every century. This happens every day, every week, every month, and every year. You select a politician, rather is a negative or a positive, or rather is a Republican, or rather is a Democrat, to the rat, to the fact that they will never have your back. Imagine that. It's you that is making yourself look dumb because you don't want to fight. You don't want to obtain the attitude of brothers and sisters that know that you have the stand-up leadership to stand up and say, I take no more. I can't breathe. A young brother with a hoodie on, eating Skittles with an Arizona iced tea. Remember that happened in Florida a couple of years ago, but the man was let free. And the distraction was to put more to your head than what you know is not true. What you gonna do? Do you think if you fight for the better, not for the worse, that you're gonna die and you will have to be forced to choose into becoming another slave, to becoming another mem, to the mind, to the memory, to the thought of the man that is holding you accountable for his own actions, for his own torture, for his own cause? Man, you know what? We all have flaws, but check the warning signs, because it's only distraction that makes us flip, that makes us curse our brothers and sisters and makes us go to war without not having a reason. And every season, spring, winter, summer, it's the same old two-step, the same dance, the same propaganda, the same agenda, just a different journey. That's why the government pays billions of dollars, lobbyists, to lie, to hide the truth from within yourself. Your eyes are deceitful because what you see is not what it is. And what they're telling you is something that should never hit you, your family, your people, your culture, or your crib. But you still feel that the distraction is within what's going on your side, what's going on in your neighborhood, what's going on in your streets. I'm gonna tell you something, man. The government already set this up, and I know they're gonna waste another $100 billion this year just to cover it up. Let me tell you something. If this country, if this land, if this northern side that they call America is so broke, why every year they're building skyscrapers, they're wasting billions of dollars, sending it to other countries to defend their other hidden agendas that they got going on. Everywhere that America goes to, they don't leave. They stay there. Why? Because they want to make you feel like they making a difference, like they helping people. What difference are you doing by killing kids, innocent women that have nothing to do with the war, that have nothing to do with your troubles, and have nothing to do with the distractions that you are providing us with? Distraction is something that you have to deal with. It's like work, like 9 to 5. Tell me, can you stay alive? Tell me, can you survive? Tell me. Like the dog that's barking right now, can you stand for yourself, or will you kneel and bow and obey the system and become a puppet just like so many others have and will? And still we have more to see come to that territory, to that destiny, to that fence, to jump in it just like a Mexican when he's coming here to see freedom. Do you really think that you're free? Distractions is only a way to let you know that to the government, y'all a bunch of bugs, roaches, and fleas. Nothing will escape from the government as long as they got your name, your social security, and know where you live at, and have your fingerprint. Ask me, if you fight and if you know your rights, you will be distracted by something that's called the Strongman Law. If you never read the book, The Strongman Law, I suggest you to read it now. I suggest you, it'll make you open up your mind, and it will make you think in wonders and how to protect yourself, your family, and those that you love. Distraction. Don't let it feed your mind. Don't let it kill you and devour you and torture you in ways where you can replicate, when you can't think, when you can't even come to yourself and say, you know what, I'm ready to battle, I'm ready to fight, I'm ready to defend for myself, my family, and my people. The government is evil. It's like a movie, but it's real. True story. See the sequel, see everything through the pupils, yep, the eyes. Everything is not what you make it or ought to be. That's why so many rappers in the industry are not here and are resting in peace. Look at everything that you think, that you learned from school and from Christopher Columbus and from others that thought that that was the right thing to see, to judge, to speculate, and to comprehend that teachers are there to make you more educatable, but it's not understandable. It's unpredictable, and it's so ridiculously wrong for the government to imply the distractions that has fooled hundreds of millions of Americans and billions of people around the world. Why you think everybody in the world has problems with Americans, and some become dictators because they can't deal with the perpetration and the sneakness and just how evil the American people is? Because the Americans, they will smile in your face, but once you turn around, they stab you in your back. Trust me, they down to attack. They down to get rid of you in combat. And you just sit there and act like they there to defend you, that they there to love you, that they're there to protect you. But instead, distraction is just a mind game, just for their plan, just so they can figure out what else they're going to do to the world to take out numbers of millions or hundreds of billions of people. If you see the Illuminati statue in Savannah, Georgia, they said it. We need to deportate, and we need to take out and have a civilization of only 500 million people. Google it. It exists. And if you think I'm playing, then you know what? Get out my channel, because you won't believe this. Distractions. It's just a form and a way to pull you away from the truth, to pull you away from what you really gotta know, for what you really need to see. To most brothers and sisters nowadays, you ask them about their history, their civilization, and their ancestors, they look at you crazy. But when you ask them about basketball, rappers, football players, they'll tell you everything in a scratch of an inch. But you telling me that they don't know where they come from, who they are, who their ancestors were. Distraction. This has been a rapper's opinion of what distraction means and what the government is doing to you.